Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishnena Marasatravo Vinihataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishna Deva Samuthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sriman Narayana. With blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji. We are continuing Bhagavad Gita. We are in chapter 3. We finished Sloka 41. We will start with Sloka 42 today. I'll share my screen. Please chant Sloka 42. Indriyani paranyahuhu.
Indriyani paranyahuhu.
Indriyebhyah param manaha.
Indriyebhyah param manaha.
Manasastu para buddhihi.
Manasastu para buddhihi.
Yo buddhe paratastu saha.
Yo buddhe paratastu saha.
Let's chant together.
Indriyani paranyahuhu. Indriyebhyah param manaha. Manasastu para buddhihi. Yo buddhe paratastu saha.
In this, whatever I'm sharing, the split is slightly different in third and fourth lines, so that's fine. Both are correct. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna is saying that the desires are our enemy, right? So Lord Krishna said, completely give up this desire that is sinful. Enam papmanam prajahi, right? So completely give up this desire. And he's continuing in this sloka, in sloka 42. Indriyani parani ahuhu. Senses are said to be superior. Okay. Indriyebhyah param manaha. Indriyebhyah manaha param. Means manas is superior than the senses. Manaha tu parabuddhihi. Manasa tu parabuddhihi. That means intellect is superior than manas. So he's giving the order. So where do we have this desires? The desires are in our senses, manas and buddhi. That's what he said, right? It occupies them, or it is stationed in them, or situated in them, and is ruling us. So he's giving the order. So senses are superior, of course, and compared to senses, manas is superior, and compared to manas, intellect is superior. Intellect is buddhi, the discriminating ability for us, or decision-making kind of ability of us. And he's saying too, but yaha buddhehe parataha saha. One who is superior than intellect is saha. Saha here refers to, saha means, if you true translation is, that or he, right? Paratas to saha. Saha here refers to not the body, or not the human being, or not Atma, not Paramatma. Here Lord Krishna is giving, he's talking about desire, right? Eshaha kamaha. Eshaha is referring to that kama, this desire. That's how he said, Esha, kama eshaha, krodha eshaha, right? So he's saying this desire. So he's explaining about the desire. Is comparing the desire and the senses, manas, and intellect, right? The context is these four items, not like saha does not mean the self or atma or paramatma or something else, nature or something else. He's only talking about these four. So when he's comparing these four, he's saying that senses, great. Manas is superior compared to senses, and intellect is superior compared to manas. And what is superior than intellect is that desire of us, right? So basically, we will not be able to control our desire. See, basically, the desire controls everything else. It's not the opposite, right? So if I have desire, what happens? It will drive the intellect. Intellect will say, okay, do this. Then it will drive the manas. Manas is the one that is a controller for the senses. So manas drives the senses in that direction. So for example, even though it is not good for us, let us say it is tamasic food or tamasic activity, the desire will say, hey, do eat this or drink this or something like that, right? And even though it says, we know that, let us say it is not good for health, or not good for, it's not going to keep us in a sane position, but somehow it overtakes the decision-making power, good decision-making power of the intellect, and says, no, do this. Then it will control the manas. Okay, manas will say, okay, now senses, you go and drink this one, or eat this one, or do this activity. So that's why desires basically rule these three, right? So if the order is opposite, then if I am able to control the senses, I'll control my manas, I'll control my intellect, and I'll control my desires. So what Lord Krishna is saying is, just controlling senses is not going to help, right? It's because desire is the one that is more powerful than everything. It will take over. So if you are only saying that, okay, I can control my desires by controlling senses, it is not going to work. Okay, or I'll keep my buddhi sane, right? I'll control my buddhi. I'll have my use my intellect to take the right decisions. It is not going to work. If the desires are there, that they will take over the buddhi. It will make us act in a way that is not suitable, not appropriate. Okay, so it is we need to somehow control the desire. Okay, so that is the order. So now, how do you control desire? That is a question that comes up, right? How do you control? How do you overcome? How do you destroy desire? If you're controlling senses, it's not going to. I mean, it'll help you a little bit. To control your manas, it'll help you a little bit. It'll control your intellect, it'll help to some extent. But once a desire is so powerful that it will make people, that's what Lord Krishna said, right? Why people do all these kinds of things. That's what Arjuna's question was. Even though I don't want to do it, but something is forcing me to do it. What is that? That force is the desire, because desire is more powerful than intellect, than manas, than senses. So we will be under the control of desire unless we take care of the desire. Right?
That's very tough.
So so in the last sloka, I mean, of course, the context here is that Karma Yoga, right? So basically, Karma Yoga is the solution to control our desires. So we may say, oh, I mean, how is Karma Yoga controlling desires? Right? I mean, it doesn't. So one is, we have seen that it is not possible to control our senses, manas, and intellect because they are under the force of our vasanas and ruchis also, right? So that is one. Second is, they are affected by the nature, the gunas from the nature. So that is another force that is acting. So that gunas of nature instigate the whatever vasanas and ruchis that we have in us, the karmic records that will, that make us, eat this, do this, that kind of something in us that wakes up and then says, oh, you have to do this, you have to taste this, you have to say this, you have to behave in this particular way. So that is acting on one side, and the second is the desire. Now it's like from all sides it is forcing us. Okay, so in order to control everything, in order to control our senses, manas, and intellect, and in order to destroy the desire that we have to do activities as Karma Yoga. If we do it, if we think that I can do the Jnana Yoga, that is focusing only on the Jnana part, okay, and not performing our activities, not performing our duties, then it is basically we may be able to control to a certain extent, but we will not be able to be successful. We will not be successful. Again, some of the concepts that were told earlier, we will not be successful. That's what. So imagine if a car is driving, at a very high speed, right? 100 miles per hour on a road. Is it possible to simply press the brake so hard and stop the car immediately and be safe? What happens if you just press the brake so hard when the car is going at 100 miles per hour? You're on mute, Vishaji.
So we will get a jerk.
It's going to flip actually.
Yeah, exactly. It is whoever. I mean, it is not possible. It's not safe. It is not safe. If That's what they say, right? If let us say going on a road and there is a suddenly car stops in the front, what do we need to do? We need to move the car to the side and then drive past. Like if you try to press the brake so hard, then we may either go and hit the car because the distance is not sufficient, or car may flip, or the car from behind will come and hit. So yes, we have to press the brake, slow down, but we should not try to stop the car in the same, in the same lane. We should try to move to the side so that even if the car doesn't stop, it is not going to hit the other car, and we don't have to press the brake so hard that we have to stop within that short distance. We can go slightly forward also, if possible. Of course, it depends on the road conditions. So we are going on this highway at 100 miles per hour. Our senses are tuned to experience this nature. Okay, we took birth means we are having karmic bondage. We are having, of course, you know, mostly sattva, maybe rajas, and some tamas is there, in our karmic records, and the gunas that we are carrying from our previous birth. So we are so when we are in that state, we're going in that direction. It is not simply possible to say that's don't use your senses at all. Don't, and then basically stop completely. It's not possible to control the senses. Okay, so we have to continue to use the senses. Now, how do we continue to use the senses? And we have to continue to do the activities, but not in a way that is harmful. We have to do it in a way that is beneficial for us. Okay, so that's why karma yoga is the safest. That's what Lord Krishna says. So a simple example is that car. Like it is safe to continue to drive, but maybe go. I mean, it's almost like and instead of stopping the car behind the car in the front, you can just move to the other lane and then drive past. Okay, so we shift ourselves and then move in the right direction. Just trying to give some kind of analogy. So we will be able to control our desires, or even completely destroy our desires, if we are performing karma yoga. That's the bottom line.
Sir, is the goal to destroy the desires, or because as long as we have the intellect, we have the buddhi, and we have the senses, right? So I mean, the way to control the desires, maybe my question is it by surrendering, like whatever we are doing? Like if we keep thinking it's for me and it's my benefit, right, that thing will keep coming back. But if as we are doing the thing, right, if it's I've done full samarpan of that, right, it's it's a prasad, right? I'm doing it for not for me. So I'm just thinking, like, how whenever we say destroy the desire, it's not going to happen by me like destroying, it's still the karma again. As long as I keep thinking this karma is going to benefit me, so it's not for benefiting me, right? It's not for my benefit at all. It's ultimately, isn't that like the path?
Yeah, I mean, don't have say destroy desire means that you don't have desires, right? I mean, focus is on the duty, not on the desire to achieve some result. Okay, first thing. Why do we go to office? To do the work. But not with the, I'm going to office only because I have a desire to, get this result. If I have the desire, right? I mean, that desire is in line with our duties, right? I mean, you can even say it's not a desire, it's a goal. Goal is fine. But you have a desire to enjoy, have a lot of possessions, all these sensory pleasures, okay? To experience sensory pleasures, or even, desire to get praise, desire to have power, praise, power, or kind of with the mind, right? Then, sensory pleasures, having nice cars, and then traveling in, business class, and, so if I have that kind of a desires in me, then first of all, it cannot be fulfilled. As soon as I get, I fulfill some desire, another desire will come up. So all that will land, right? And second is, uh, everything for me, for me, for me. So we are basically uh, getting so much karmic bondage because of that. And then we are lowering ourselves down. We may be successful in the materialistic world, but we are acquiring so much dirt, so much baggage, that it will impact us for millions of lives to come. So, so that's why you don't have the desire. Focus on the duty. Whatever is your duty, whatever you need to achieve, try to do that to the best of your abilities, thinking that you are just an instrument. This activity is not mine. This activity belongs to Paramatma. I'm doing this. Um, I am. I'm doing this because I'm influenced by the gunas, with the energy that Paramatma is provided to me, and I need to burn my karmic bondage, whatever is assigned to me. So that's why I'm doing it. Whatever is the result, I offer it to Paramatma. This result belongs to him. I'll treat it as blessings, and then experience it. So it is not saying that, we are not saying that don't, if let's say we work for a month and we get the salary, the salary belongs to Paramatma and you should donate it completely. It doesn't belong to you. No, we treat this as a, uh, you know, blessings from Paramatma, and then use it. This is not mine. And there's nothing in this world that is ours, including this body. We don't have anything. So even if you try to have something like a car or a house or money or anything, nothing belongs to us. Right? So immediate, as soon as we know that nothing belongs to us, then there's no desire. I mean, desire to acquire. So basically, destroy the desires. I mean, Karma Yoga will help us destroy the desires. Once a desire is gone, right? Now everything is in line. Karma Yoga, with Karma Yoga, we'll be able to control our senses, manas, and intellect also. Right? Nirasi, Nirmamaha, Nirahankaraha. These three words, without having expectations, you have to do it. So, not with a desire, to achieve a particular result. Do that activity because it is a prescribed duty that is given to you by Paramatma. This activity belongs to Paramatma. This is not mine. There's nothing in, mine in the sense, for self, there is no activity. Right? So just because we took birth, the birth is given to us by Paramatma. This body belongs to Paramatma. This body is given to me to experience my karmic bondage. I knew it is my duty to perform the activities that are given to me because of my birth. Those activities I need to do. When I do those activities, my karmic bondage will be eliminated. Okay, and so that is the only purpose of our life, right? So the purpose of our life is to just burn the karmic bondage that is assigned to this particular life. Um, and also because we have jnana, we have the knowledge. When we perform karma yoga properly, it actually eliminates the karmic bondage that is not assigned to this particular life also. It eliminates whatever karmic bondage is there in a bag behind us, which is supposed to be assigned to in future births. Even that will be eliminated. So we will reach higher and higher state. It becomes easy for us to control our senses, manas, and intellect. A lot of people they are not able to do that because of the bondage that they have, karmic bondage, the records that they are carrying with them from previous lives. So they are affected by the nature more. So even if they know that something is good, they cannot do, unfortunately. Okay. So even if others try to help, hey, this is good thing for you. They can't get it.
Sir, I think that is a
So
teenager thing to do. Like now, our kids are doing the same thing. But sir, when you said that everybody has, more or less prarabdha karma and the karmic bondage, but everybody can move forward, right? Like everybody
yes,
can go on this path. So regardless of where you start from.
yeah, yes, everybody can. The first thing is to surrender. First thing is to accept, right? If you don't surrender, if we think that I know everything, what is this? Or if you envy other people who are following it. See, Lord Krishna said, if you envy me, don't teach, right? So, I mean, so basically, and if we envy the other person who is doing it, then also it is not possible. It creates a block for that person to practice. Okay, so of course, envying Paramatma, like we know, the Rakshasa. Some we can take examples, right? They envy Paramatma so much, right? So some of the examples, not all of them, right? So when we envy, we will not be able to. When we have a lot of karmic bondage, that maybe whatever baggage that we are carrying, now the gunas that are dominant in us, if the tamas guna is dominant in us, it is not possible for that person to accept, unfortunately. So, but it is possible to overcome that because we took birth as humans. Animals, it is not possible, unfortunately. So every human being has opportunity, equal opportunity to, follow this path. That's where the statue of equality concept comes from. All of us have equal opportunity to reach Paramatma, no matter what kind of jobs that we are doing. Okay, it is for us to do the activities, whatever activities that we are doing as karma yoga. So karma yoga, doing the activity as service to God. That's another primary thing. So that's why Sri Swamiji has given us, serve all beings as service to God, right? So that is directly coming, from karma yoga concept. Okay, so if we do serve all beings as service to God, then we are on the path, to achieve our goal. which is destroying our desires. I mean, one of the things that we need to do in this particular life is to destroy the desires, not have the desires, not be driven by the desires. Doing an activity as, it is my duty, not because I have a desire to fulfill. Okay.
Varaprasad,
Yes.
you said karma yoga in this last sloka, right? You're saying karma yoga is the only that helps us coming out of whatever. You are saying as a synopsis of the entire chapter, or because the last one, the way I understood is with the help of intellect, you control the mind to defeat karma, right? But
To defeat karma?
yeah.
No. So the order is like this. The desires are more powerful than the intellect. The intellect is more powerful than manas. Manas is more powerful than senses. Or intellect is under the control of desire. Manas is under the control of intellect. And senses are under the control of manas. Okay. Senses are the ones that are actually acting outside, right? And we have karmendriyas and jnanendriyas, senses of perception and senses of action. So we have those are the ones that interact with this nature. So anything that we want to do, those are the ones that we are using to do in the nature. But I mean, they won't work unless the manas controls them. Manas is the one that is processing the information. If it is like jnanendriyas, it is receiving the information from the senses of perception, processing it, and then giving the information to intellect. Now, so manas is the one that is controlling the karmendriyas. Okay, you have to walk, you have to run, right? So intellect drives manas. Manas is driving the senses. And desire is more powerful than intellect. So it is not possible to do the opposite. You can't control the desires with your senses. Right? I mean, we have seen the examples. Like if I close my eyes, my desire to watch TV will not go away. Isn't it? Or if I simply say that I'm not going to eat, a particular dish, and then close my mouth, the nice smell is coming, right? It's right in front of us. After 15 minutes, they say, no, okay, no, we have to eat it. That's it. Maybe I'll see tomorrow. Dieting will be tomorrow. Okay, so we try to control, but what happened there? The desire took over the intellect and then said, hey, took the decision basically, saying that you eat. You were thinking that you are going to diet, that you don't want to eat sweets or carbo, and things like that. So it says, no, that was your decision earlier, but my desire of eating that particular dish, as soon as I saw it, woke up, the desire woke up, and then it starts pushing. And after some time, that intellect will give up. Okay, you go ahead and eat. And then the manas will simply order the senses. Hand will take the food and then keep it in the mouth, and tongue will taste it, enjoy it. So if it is not possible to control the desire by controlling the senses, or by controlling manas, or by controlling intellect also. That is what Lord Krishna is very clearly saying here. So that saha in this particular sloka is referring to the desire, because it is referring to that is the desire. kama esha, from there it started, right? The desire is the one that is forcing everybody, like some kind of a force pushing people to do things even though they don't want to do it.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm asking basic thing again. So who is stopping the desire now here?
If we practice karma yoga, it will automatically go away.
So what karma? Suppose there is a sweet in front of me. Simply closing my mouth, I can't do that because my mind is whatever, inner thing is telling you to eat. So what karma yoga might do that to control that?
So you will, see, earlier you want to eat sweet because I want to enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it is for my enjoyment. So if you convert that, if you think that, it is not for me, the desire will automatically come down. And what, again, our Swamiji says is that, it is not, on day one, it is not possible to simply say, okay, I'm following karma yoga, my desire to eat the sweets will go away. It will not, right? But when you are eating, you eat it as an offering to Paramatma.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So slowly it starts there. Any activity that you do it as a service to God. So don't think that this is for me, for my own enjoyment. See, if a simple thing is, if I have to do something for my own enjoyment, or if it is if I have to do something for somebody else, right? Immediately difference will come in our thinking,
Mm-hmm.
right? If we have that selfish desire to enjoy, right? That is more powerful than, okay, this is for Paramatma. Now, the next question comes, Paramatma, does he really need it?
So,
Yeah, right? It is, even if you take it, you will take only a little bit, So, or you will not go all the way to a particular sweet shop and buy it, right? So you will prepare something nice, which is what Paramatma needs, you will stop thinking about yourself, basically. What is the activity? I have to offer prasadam, and I have to offer to Paramatma. Okay, what should I offer? Initially, we start offering whatever we like only, right? But slowly, what happens if we stop thinking about it? My liking, my desire will go away. It will be whatever Paramatma likes. Paramatma likes sattvic food. He doesn't like morning 5 laddus and evening 5 jalebis, right? If it is for me, if I'm really fond of sweets, I want to eat all of that. But if I am thinking of Paramatma, I have to offer it to Paramatma in me, inside me. Then I will think, what is the food that I have to offer to Paramatma? My desire is gone completely there. Of course, initially we try to cheat. The cheating part is that if we like certain type of food, then we make that food and offer it, which is good. I'm not saying that it is bad, right? So again, it is like you're going in 100 miles per hour road. You can't just stop it, right? And then be safe. So initially you have desires, you have likings. You put that in the path towards Paramatma. Start offering it to Paramatma. Start thinking of Paramatma when you are doing it. Doing it as Paramatma's activities. Slowly, things will become clear. Like, when you're traveling, on a road where all the fog is there, right? You are not able to see things clearly, but you are following it. Okay, just because you have to go on that road. Slowly things will become clearer and clearer and clearer. then you will realize, what am I doing so earlier, right? The initial, so that is the practice. That's why Karma Yoga is based on practice. It is not theory. If it is theory, then we'll never be able to completely control ourselves. With practice only, it will happen.
Thank you.
Varaprasad, I think I misunderstood the meaning of 41st sloka. There I thought that we are saying that by restraining the senses, we are able to control the desire. That's not the case, right? The 41.
41. um, 41 is we need to restraining. See, it's not like he's not saying that don't restrain the senses at all, right? So okay, let me explain. So how do you restrain your senses? By practicing Karma Yoga. So after restraining your senses at the beginning itself, right? Perform your activities as Karma Yoga, it says. So it is not like you have to be successful in Karma Yoga, in restraining your senses, then only your Karma Yoga starts. Through Karma, you're recognizing that you have to restrain your senses. You start that, and also practice your Karma Yoga, which will kill your desire, which will take over which will put the intellect, manas, and senses in the right direction.
Okay.
See, there it is like, so Jnana Yoga does not talk about restraining senses, right? Right. So it is acquiring Jnana. It is not possible to completely control your senses through Jnana Yoga. Only with practice of Karma Yoga you can do. So that's what he's saying. If you want to go to a higher level, then you start at a lower level, which is again in second chapter it starts with, let us say, as soon as you see some danger, it starts with the tortoise. As soon as it starts with sees a danger, it will immediately takes the limbs inside, right? So even when you're following Karma Yoga, it's not like you go and you do whatever you want. It's not like you will control your senses. However, it is not possible to control your senses unless you continue to practice Karma Yoga. Like, you may be successful to some extent, right? Again, as I said, like 15 minutes you may be successful, or in a couple of days you may be successful, but it's not possible to continue to control our intellect, mind, and senses unless we practice Karma Yoga. So that is the first thing you can do, controlling your senses, but along with it you have to start practicing Karma Yoga.
All right. Thank you.
Good question. Thank you. Okay. We'll go on to Sloka 43. Let's share my screen. Evam buddhe param buddhva
Evam buddhe param buddhva
samstabhyatmanamaatmana jahi satrum mahabaho
Jai Shatram Mahabaho
kamarupam durasadam.
Kamarupam Durasadam
Let's chant together.
Evam
Evam
Buddhe
Brahma
samstabhyatmanamaatmana
Jahi
jahi
Shatram
mahabaho
Kamarupam
Durasadam. Lord Krishna is saying in this sloka, Hey Mahabaho, O mighty Arjuna, Evam, thus. So now it's a conclusion of this chapter. So after giving, after explaining in the previous slokas, he's saying, Evam, thus, Buddhehe param buddha, realizing that desire is superior than intellect. Realizing that desire is superior than intellect. Atmana atmanam samstabhya. Here Atma comes twice. So there's a, those two Atma words have two different meanings. Establishing, samstabhya is establishing the manas with intellect. Establishing manas in karma yoga with intellect. Okay, so atmana atmanam samstabhya. So we said senses, manas, and intellect. That's the order. Intellect is the most powerful, then manas, and then senses, right? So intellect controls manas. What should our intellect do? Our intellect should put manas, should direct the manas to practice karma yoga. Okay, so so then what happens? Kama rupam durasadam satrum jahi. Okay, jahi satrum kama rupam durasadam. Jahi, jahi satrum, destroy the enemy. Okay, kama rupam durasadam, which is in the form of desire, that is difficult to overcome. Okay, so we have to, we got the knowledge, right? The knowledge of karma yoga, right? And we know how to practice it. So we have to use our intellect to drive manas to practice karma yoga. Okay, and our senses follow whatever manas says. So put the senses in that direction of practicing karma yoga. Then it will destroy our enemy, which is in the form of desire. Durasadam, which is difficult to overcome. Like this is very powerful. Desire is so powerful that if we don't practice this, it will overtake us, right? It will overtake our body, intellect, manas, and senses. So if we use our intellect to apply the knowledge of karma yoga, practice karma yoga, by directing manas which will direct senses to practice whatever activities that we need to do. Okay, using karma yoga concepts, right? So our practicing karma yoga through our senses, then we will be able to destroy our desire. Otherwise, it is difficult to overcome it. So our eternal enemy, the desire is our eternal enemy. There's no other enemy for us. Okay, the desire is within us. If we apply, if we practice karma yoga, then the desire, which is our enemy, will be destroyed. We will be relieved of our sins, sins in the form of karmic bondage, and we will not only the karmic bondage that is assigned to us in this particular life, but the sanchita karma, so the karmic bondage that is not even assigned to us for this particular life, even that will be destroyed. Okay, of course, theoretically, when the entire karmic bondage is destroyed, and then we become eligible to get moksha. Right? We do not have to take birth again. When there is karmic bondage, then we have to take birth. If there is no karmic bondage, there is no need to take birth. But through our own efforts, it is not possible to completely, eliminate karmic bondage. We'll know that later. But so at least we will be able to destroy we'll be able to eliminate some of the karmic bondage that we have, and we will reach higher and higher state. Any questions on that?
So karma yoga, like, so basically we are saying that in a gist that do whatever you perform, do it as a as a duty for the God, right?
Yes.
So at the conclusion of the chapter, I'm thinking, like, how can we put it in few words to describe it, our day-to-day activities? How can we perform it as a karma yoga? Job, we understand, okay, do whatever you're doing, do it as a duty to God. And what other things that we do throughout the day, how can we make sure that everything is being performed as karma yoga? So maybe some examples.
Yeah, everything is done as service to God. So you're taking bath. Okay. How do you think what do we think when we are taking bath, for example?
Cleaning, feeling relaxed.
I'm cleaning my body.
Okay.
Or is it, I'm cleaning the body where the Paramatma resides, right? This is an activity that I'm serving Paramatma by even taking bath. It is difficult. I mean, it's not easy. So whenever we eat something, right, we are actually feeding Paramatma only. Not the first few grains. You think, okay, take a little bit as okay, Krishna Arpanamastu, or something like that, and then okay, I can enjoy. No, I mean, whatever we are feeding, the whole thing is for Paramatma only. So we are living in a house. Whose house is this? Whose house do you think it is? My house. My house, no. It is Paramatma's residence. I am living in it. Okay, cleaning the house. I'm cleaning Paramatma's residence. So everywhere, even though the bhakti concept doesn't come here, but when you clearly see karma yoga, we think that okay, there's no concept of God here. No. It is very much embedded. That knowledge, the knowledge of Atma, Paramatma, is very much embedded in karma yoga. We will not be able to perform Karma Yoga unless we have the knowledge of Atma and Paramatma.
Right.
So whenever we are doing any activity, we do it thinking that, okay, this is service to Paramatma. We see Paramatma. So you're feeding, let us say you're doing gardening. Why are you doing that? Watering the plants. Oh, plants will grow and give me nice, vegetables and fruits. I'm going to eat it. That is how we typically think, right? But it is this Paramatma in those trees. I am serving him through this activity.
Right.
And when whatever fruits or vegetables come, I'm going to take that as a blessings, make whatever we need to, and then offer it to Paramatma. After offering to Paramatma, I'm going to consume it because Paramatma is in me. These are all deep concepts. We keep forgetting every time. So every activity that we do, if we are doing it as service to God, that becomes karma yoga.
Karma Yoga.
So brushing teeth, I'm cleaning Paramatma's body. This body belongs to Paramatma. Simple thing. It's not mine. See, we think that, I'm living in it because Paramatma placed in this. I'm staying like a rented. This is rented house. So whenever the rent expires, gone, right? This is whatever. So whatever activities that I need to do to this body, I have to do it. If I don't do it, I'm getting karmic bondage. Simple. So that is if I'm thinking that way. So any activity that we do to our body. Now, when we are cooking for for us and for family, we keep. If we initially think of, okay, this is for me to eat or for my kids then it is not karma yoga. We are cooking for Paramatma, right? And we offer to Paramatma and then eat it. Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha, that sloka that we all we chant, right? We offer it and then we take it. Again, when we take it, it is not for me. We'll get to it in later chapters, but Paramatma is the one who is in me, who is accepting it. So somehow it could be treated as like, okay, if this body is Paramatma's body, I'm feeding Paramatma in me, so I am Paramatma. No, I am Atma. Paramatma resides in this body, Paramatma resides in this Atma also. When I'm feeding the body, I'm feeding Paramatma. That whatever I'm feeding is not for Atma. Atma doesn't need any food. So I don't need any food at all. But I'm feeding Paramatma so that this Paramatma is the one who is going to give me the energy. One more thing that we typically think is that I ate the food and the food gave me energy, right? That is what we think. Now, how do you convert that to Karma Yoga?
This body is given by God, so ultimately you're serving that body. Right?
Yeah, we're serving the body, but about the energy part. So, when we eat the food, I'm getting energy. We think my eating of food, whatever type of food that we eat, that food gave me energy, right? No, the food is consumed by Paramatma, and Paramatma gave the energy. Has no link between food and energy. It is very radical concept. We have to de-link between our activity and the result. The activity of is eating food. The result is I got energy. You have to cut the two, between the two. Activity, we have to do it. That's why we did it. Not because I'm going to get energy. Because when somebody is not well, right? For example, they eat food, they will become more sick, right? So if whatever we eat is the one that is giving energy, then everybody of all of us should have the same thing, right? Somebody is not eating anything, they have so much energy. Somebody is eating so much, but they don't have the energy. So basically, the eating is an activity. And why are we eating? Is as service to Paramatma. Whatever energy that I get is blessing of Paramatma. Has no connection to the food, right? So, I mean, once we start thinking like my duty, what is my duty? I do my duty. Why am I doing the duty? And is because it's assigned to me, because I have to take care of Paramatma. I'm serving Paramatma, so I do the duty as service to God with the energy that is given to me by God, right? With the body that is given to me by Paramatma, right? With all the nature, entire nature that is helping me, all the devatas that are there in the nature, they are helping me. So with that, I'm doing this activity. Now, the result is I got the energy. That is Paramatma's blessings. I do the job. Whether I get promotion, don't get the promotion, has no link between the two. Doing the duty is my responsibility. I have to do the duty. Doing it as service to God. God will give me whatever He wants. Right? So we do our duty, take care of our kids. How the kids turn up is Paramatma's blessings again. It is not something that whatever activity that we do is giving the result. We have to break the two. And the result is given to me by Paramatma. Then it becomes Karma Yoga. And doing it without expectations, without having certain desires or expectations on the results. I have to do it because it's my prescribed duty. Again, every day taking bath, brushing teeth, and taking care of the body so well. Why? Oh, I have to be healthy. There's no guarantee, right? Somebody, I was here. There was some news. Somebody didn't take bath for many years. I don't know if you came across that person. After so he was fine. After several years, he took bath. And then immediately after a few days, he died. So, so we don't know. So thinking that, okay, my activities, then people will say, oh, why do you do them? Like, why do you take bath? We have to do it because it is prescribed duty assigned to us. We have to take care of our body. We have to do whatever we are supposed to. Unfortunately, even I don't do exercise that regularly, but we have to do that is prescribed activity. We have to do Sandhya Vandanam, all these things that are prescribed activities. Not because we are going to get health and wealth and all our desires will be fulfilled. We have to do puja. Worship to Paramatma. Not because we are going to give, Paramatma will suddenly become happy and then give $1 million to us. No, because it's our duty, that is why we are doing it, as a respect that we are doing it. Because we are getting so much from Paramatma and all the devatas that around us. We learned in the 3rd chapter. So all these concepts are there in all over the place. So when we are doing when we worship, we are basically thanking them, right? For whatever we are getting. We don't have to. The most precious thing that we got, most complex thing that we got is our body, and we are able to live that particular day. That itself should be sufficient to worship Paramatma.
I mean, even though it is very difficult to imagine everything that you do throughout the day, you think as a service, but I'm thinking if you do that, you may automatically, because you're offering it to God, you may automatically restrain from doing something which you feel you would not want to offer. Will help you.
Exactly. That's why, I mean, once we think that this is Paramatma's activity, okay, does Paramatma really want this activity, need this activity? So it becomes, so we will think, is it my duty? Duties are assigned to me by Paramatma. Okay, so duty comes because of our age, status in the society, and things like that, right? The profession that we have. So these are the duties that are assigned to me. Anything when we have to do something, then we'll immediately think, is it something that Paramatma really wants? For whose sake I'm doing it? So is it for my sake, my own enjoyment? Then immediately it will go away. So somebody will praise me, then I have to do it, right? That will, so for my praise that I'm going to do something that is not not prescribed, mandatory, or needed, we will not do, because I don't need any praise. We do a prescribed activity, and whatever praise or criticism comes, again, we have to accept it. So if somebody is going to praise, that's why I should not even do the activity. That's not what it says. Do the activity. If praise comes, fine, you have to take it, enjoy it. And again, just to take the example, right? So Sri Swamiji got a Padma Bhushan award recently, right? So he was not doing for the purpose of getting Padma Bhushan, right? I mean, so all the activities is doing it as service to God. Now, Padma Bhushan came as a, as one other, as a side effects, or some people thought, okay, it's a good activity, we need to give to Sri Swamiji, maybe because, it definitely deserves it, and it will also motivate others. So Sri Swamiji accepted it, because you accept it, whether it is praise or criticism, you accept it, right? You can't say, oh, I don't need it. You don't have to, right? Again, don't think that, oh, my activity alone give. I mean, Sri Swamiji was so humble that he always says that it's all the entire organization, all the set of volunteers. We have the video of Sri Swamiji. So it is because of everybody who did the voluntary. I'm just, they are the wheels who are running the entire organization. I'm just the car, the frame. So they have to recognize somebody. So I got, I accepted it. Again, definitely, I'm pretty sure Sri Swamiji takes it as blessings from Paramatma. So there's no need to reject it. As long as it is sattvic, it is going to be good for the society, we should do it. So it is prescribed duty. So the prescribed duty is to do karma yoga, and you get a result. You may get a promotion, you may get a praise, accept it as blessings from Paramatma. Okay, so we'll 8 minutes we have, so we will go through some of the questions. Okay, we'll see. Do you see the questions?
Yes. See any questions?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have several questions here. Unfortunately, we don't have much time, but we'll try to go through and see if we get it right. So, what is the meaning of karma? what is the answer here? A record of merit or sin that we carry from our earlier births, any problem or adversity that we face in this life, or anything that is done by body, senses, mind, and intellect. This is our fate or destiny. The meaning of karma.
I would say number A, the record of merit or sin that we carry forward, karma bondage.
I think so. A.
Or C,
C,
I would say C.
I'm going with C.
Okay. So typically, we hear the word karma, right? He's facing his karma, right? That is this is a tricky question. I mean, karma is nothing but an activity, you know. So anything that is done by body, senses, mind, or intellect, anything that we do is karma. It is not what we carry from previous births, anything, merits and sins. That is how people treated that. He has a lot of karma. There they're referring to karmic bondage. But karma is any activity. Okay. Okay, any activity that we do. Okay, good. Then second question, there are two forces driving us for any action, that is karma. One is external and the other one is internal. Identify true statements. So what are the true statements here? Multiple choice, multiple answers. A is external force. That is multifaceted, having three gunas of nature. Internal force is jnana and karmendriyas. C is internal force is God, and D, external force, is the single faceted, having only one guna nature.
A and B, sir.
A and B.
B is for sure.
A and B.
So there are two forces that are driving us to do the action. Why do we do any action?
Okay, three gunas.
Three gunas. And what is the
Senses.
enabling us to do the action? Who is the one who is enabling us to do the action?
Oh,
Got it?
God.
God. So whenever we perform any action, who do we attribute the action to?
Okay.
The three gunas and God. Either three gunas or Paramatma is what is said, and typically we attribute it to God, because he's the internal force. He's the one who is enabling us to perform any activity. We offer it to. So I am an instrument in the hands of God. I'm not. So instrument doesn't work by itself, right? Some force must be there for the instrument to work. So that force is Paramatma only. And when we are doing any activity, the kind of activities that we do are influenced by the gunas. Okay, I have the internal force, which is Paramatma. Paramatma is not, let's say there's a criminal. Paramatma is not saying, hey guys, go and kill some people. He's not doing that, right? So the guna, the rajas and tamas gunas are forcing the person to do that kind of activity. So one is influencing from outside. One is the energy that is given to that person to do that activity. It is not the so when we are doing it as karma yoga, we have to recognize Paramatma. This activity I'm doing it as service to God with the energy that is given to me by God. What kind of activity that I'm doing? I'm influenced by the guna, that way I'm doing it. I'm influenced by sattva guna, that's why I'm able to attend this session today. I'm influenced by rajas guna, so I'm going to I have all these desires and anger and all that stuff. Desires and angers typically are coming out of rajas. Or tamas is ignorance, laziness. So I am doing those kind of activities because I'm influenced by the gunas from nature, which instigated or which raised whatever internal vasanas and ruchis that I have in me, that I'm carrying. Those were affected by the gunas from outside, and then that is the kind of activity that I'm doing. It is not I can't blame God saying that, hey God, you are responsible for my anger. So
But it says two forces driving for any action.
yes, yeah, so the two forces that are driving are external force, which is the three gunas of nature, and internal force, that is God.
Even if it is an inappropriate action.
Yeah, unless God is keeping the Atma in the body can't even function. Unless God is the one who is digesting food, it is not Atma digesting food. We'll see later. Unless the God is making the person breathe, breathing is happening because of Paramatma, not because we are doing it. So if somebody can't breathe, they won't be even alive. So the person is alive means God is giving the energy to that person. But they should use it for the proper purpose. But unfortunately, they used it for wrong purpose. Some people use it for proper purpose. They do it as karma yoga. Then they are cleared of karmic bondage. Other people are not doing it as karma yoga. They are doing it as for their own, satisfying their own desires, enjoying everything as if they are independent. They don't recognize Paramatma in them or outside. They don't recognize Atma, concept of Atma. I mean, unless we have a concept of Atma, I don't even think of karmic bondage and this and that, right? So I'll only think of body. Okay, I need to enjoy it because that's what is logical, makes sense. Whatever body enjoys is my enjoyment. I should do it. So only when I know about Atma and then I know about Paramatma, who is giving the energy to Atma and also to body, the entire nature, who's supporting the entire nature, then only we will think of performing karma yoga and all that and think properly. Okay. Take two more questions. What is a sin? Sin is a karmic record that we get, and fill up the blanks. Multiple answers. Only when we do any bad action. B is when any action is performed when it is not supported by Sankhya or Atmajnana. C, when we do not perform our duty. D, none of the above. Sin is just a myth.
C.
I would say B.
A, B, C.
A, B, C.
Multiple actions.
Multiple action.
It's
A,
A,
B,
B,
C,
C.
sir.
B or
A.
C.
A and B.
A, B, C. All three.
Okay. So here it says only, so that's why
The
only is highlighted. So typically we say we get sin only when we do bad action, right? So is that correct?
No.
No, right? So that will not be the answer. So then what would be the other answers?
I would say B and C.
B and C.
B and C. So when any action is performed, that is not supported by Atmajnana. So when we don't have the Atmajnana, that's it. I mean, whatever activity that we do is sin. That's it. Unfortunately, we may think, oh, I'm doing good and all that stuff, but it is considered sin. and it adds karmic bondage. Anything that adds karmic bondage is a sin. I mean, what is sin basically? Like something that will take us down, right? Which will kind of give punishment. That is a typical knowledge that we have. Sin is the one that gives punishment. Merit is the one that gives them, like, good things in future. That is a typical understanding, which is fine. So if we add more karmic bondage, that is one that is bringing us down, that is punishing us, right? So that is sin. So sin is a karmic record. It's just a karmic record. When any action is performed without Atma Jnana, and when we do not perform our duty. See, this is another thing. When we have a duty to do and we choose not to do it, it is sin. Straight. Okay, how we do and all that, that's I mean, if we don't do it, then it becomes sin. That's why Arjuna, when he is not, when he doesn't want to fight, if he chooses not to fight, even though it was his duty, his logic is that, oh, I'm going to acquire sin if I perform my duty. That is opposite. If he doesn't fight, if he does not punish the people that are doing bad to the society, then he is going to acquire the sin, not the opposite, right? So Arjuna has to perform his duty, no matter what the duty is. It could be washing dishes, cleaning the, even taking care of the shoes, in a particular event, whatever it is. Whatever is the activity that we need to do, if we don't do it, then we acquire sin. If we do it, we don't acquire sin, right?
So what is supported Sankhya? Is that chapter 2? How do we know that?
Yeah, Sankhya is a good knowledge, which is Atma Jnana.
I would say B and C.
Sankhya Yoga is a knowledge of Atma. So that concept of Atma is given in that. Of course, Sankhya Yoga has Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga concepts also, but primarily it introduces Atma, concept of Atma in that. So the knowledge.
Is it the same as self-knowledge?
Yeah, knowledge of self.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I am Atma. That is that knowledge is Sankhya. Right?
I would say B and C.
Very simple terms. Very simple terms. Atma is different from body, and Atma has all this, characteristics. Body has these characteristics. All that explanation, is there, which is all the concept of Atma Jnana. Atma, is neither created. It's not going to be destroyed. There's no birth or death for Atma, and it has all these qualities. So that is all Sankhya. Okay. Last question. I'm sorry, we are over time. What am I losing if I do my duties without the support of Sankhya?
B and C.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
B and C.
I'm losing nothing, or B is I am getting more karmic bondage, karmic records that cause troubles for me later. I am losing the opportunity to burn my past karmic records, or D is nothing, because I am doing my duty. So I'm doing the duty, but if I don't do it as with Atma Jnanam, supported by Atma Jnanam as karma yoga, then I will lose something. I'm losing the opportunity to burn my past karmic records. So B and C is the answer here. B is I'm getting more karmic records because I'm doing the duty, thinking that I am body and this is for me and all that. And so then that is one. And second is I'm also losing, not only getting more karmic bondage, but this body is given to me with the opportunity. Hey, you have the opportunity now to clean your karmic bondage. But if you don't make use of this opportunity, I'm losing. You know, so we don't know when we will get another human body. So we lose, right? Okay. So there are more fun and interesting questions. We'll see probably later. These are all again with Sri Swamiji's blessings. We are able to prepare these questions and share to clarify some of the concepts. I hope these are making clear.
Yes, so I'm.
They are all getting passing grades, not great grades, but passing grades.
So
That's
basically,
good.
if we don't have the Atma Gyan or somebody has not gone through these, they are in the path of sin, right? They need to have, right? So it's
Yes.
feeling like they should actually be a part of curriculum in school, wherever possible. They should introduce these things. Otherwise, people will never know. It will be very
Exactly. I mean, see, one of the things that's coming here is that these concepts are not to make somebody pray to a particular type of particular god, right? These are universal in nature. When we go through some of these concepts will help universal peace.
Mhm.
It is, these concepts are not to say, okay, you have to pray to my God and you have to, pray to give money to me because I am the superior in this particular religion. So you have to start giving money to me. So that becomes a business, right?
Mm.
This is, unfortunately, people do business with God. So using God as a thing, and that is the one of the profitable businesses, and you don't have to do any investment, and you get millions. But this the concepts that are given in Bhagavad Gita are the ones that anybody can use. Okay, it doesn't say a particular, like a particular. Now these are again one more thing is logical also. These are logical. A lot of people have questions. I'm doing everything right, but why am I getting, into like troubles and whatever health problems, financial problems, or anything, psychological problems. So why is this happening to me when I'm doing everything right? I'm donating money, I'm serving people. Why did I get this? Right? So that kind of questions, there is no answer unless we go through these concepts. Okay, very, very clearly, logically explained, not only to answer a lot of questions that we get day to day, but also to manage our life in such a way that it is helpful for the society as long as we live. It is not saying that, okay, pray to me and then you can do whatever you want in your rest of the day. No, you have to serve the society 24/7 as long as you live. Serve all beings is what it says. There is no concept of promoting a religion or anything.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to
So
be for kids.
it has to be, as you rightly said, but unfortunately, it is kind of treated as a religious thing, and then people are not teaching.
I mean,
But as you
there are,
rightly said, it has to
there
be
are-
this kind of thing should be there as a curriculum. I
I mean,
think
there are ways maybe they can introduce it in the form of stories. Atma Jnana has nothing to be with the religion, right? Maybe some stories they can introduce. It could be ways.
yeah. So just like how yoga is becoming popular, when people know about Bhagavad Gita, concepts of Bhagavad Gita, and again, if it is put in a capsule that is acceptable to everyone, that will break the barriers of other people, then it will. Again, one more thing is that because of the karmic bondage that people are carrying, because of the the gunas that they have, they may not be able to accept it. So even if you try to present it, it will become back, it will backfire. So this is not something that should be forced on people. It is something that people have to, surrender and get the knowledge. That is how Bhagavad Gita is. You cannot force. It's not something that you, conquer a country and then just make everybody do 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, chant, 10 slokas. It is not going to work. It is not. That is why, again, it's a message of peace. Nobody uses this kind of knowledge to force people to follow it. It is people, if you follow, then it is, you will grow. You'll go to a higher state. If you don't follow, if you know it, but if you don't follow, or if you don't try to know it, then it, you may have to wait for next life.
But learning at a young age, like Balaji is doing great job. He's teaching kids, and like him, there may be other people who may be doing the same thing. I'm very grateful for that. And-
Manish, by the way, Varaprasad ji actually teaches meanings also for children.
So they
As
can-
part of Jeeyar Ashram, it is all specialized. So my intention is to kind of, as the summer comes and the kids start getting time, we will have classes.
That will be-
So you can take a few classes for children. And
Sure.
then
These questions are actually from the, from the classes that we actually offer to kids.
yes.
Yeah, and this is a few I'm just showing, but we will have books also. I think I'll encourage all of us to get those books when we get it. It will be available.
Yeah.
So we'll go through those books.
We look forward to it.
Look forward to that.
Okay. This is life management in Gita that Sri Swamiji has been, personally reviewed and approved the material for all of us. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Sorry, we ran over. I'll conclude with the concluding prayer. Kayena vacha mansendriya buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yajat sakalam parasmai narayanaya samarpayami Sriman Narayanaya samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Om Sadgurubhyo Namaha Jai Sri Narayana.
Narayana sir.
Jai Sri Narayana.